You could be back at the dawn of time. Volcanoes bursting up through the ground, spewing lakes of molten red lava. It's like watching God create the earth.
I'm in Congo. It really does feel like the heart of darkness. The sort of place you'd expect to find King Kong. They live in Virunga National Park, ancient forest that straddles Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Each family is led by an adult male called a silverback. Without his protection, the family is defenceless.
The silverback's role is to defend the family. Can you imagine a young human kid, 6 years of age, dropped into a park and left there forever? That kid wouldn't survive. It's the same with the mountain gorillas. They're very much like humans, and they depend upon their father and their mothers to live.
Paul Raphael is the author of the acclaimed book Among the Great Apes. In 2007, he came here and discovered a family of mountain gorillas surviving in the midst of civil war. They would have a profound impact on him.
There was Senkwekwe, the silverback, 6 foot tall, as heavy as 2 sumo wrestlers, having to eat all day to maintain his bulk. There were several mothers with their babies, and the young brothers playing mock battle with each other, just like kids in the park.
The two oldest brothers were Mukunda and Kongomani. The baby of the group was Noel.
That really tugged at my heartstrings to see them happy and peaceful. And little did I know that within 4 or 5 weeks, the tragedy that was going to grip the world.
Unknown assailants entered the park and launched an attack. Witness to the horror was the chief warden who was camping in the gorilla sector when it happened.
One evening we heard very distinctive gunshots coming from deep inside the forest. We organised a patrol and set out the next morning. After several hours of walking through the forest, we came across this terrible scene, which was the massacre of the Rwanda group.
Seven adult gorillas had been slaughtered. The silverback Senkwekwe had been shot 8 times in the back. Some of his wives had been doused in petrol and set alight.
The spectacle was appalling. It was just terrible. The sight of seeing so many gorillas killed. We'd never had a massacre of gorillas on that scale. And it meant that there was this possibility that we were on the edge of an extinction.
They were murdered for this: charcoal. 1 million people in the nearest city of Goma use charcoal to cook their food. It's worth millions to the rebels and corrupt government officials who control the black market. A charcoal mafia.
If the gorillas were killed, in their minds there would be no more reason to protect the forests, and they would be able to go in and clear those forests and make money.
20,000 soldiers from the vicious rebel army known as the CNDP invaded the gorilla sector, and the park became a no-man's land.
They are just shooting in the gorilla sector.
We could sometimes see plumes of smoke coming out of the forest where mortar shells or cannon fire had taken place in the forest where the mountain gorillas were. So we simply didn't know what was happening with the mountain gorillas, and we couldn't get access to the forest.
Trapped in the jungle were the three brothers, Mukunda, Kongomani and Noel. They were orphaned and alone. That was 4 years ago.
I'd wanted ever since to go back to see if those young ones had survived.
Now Paul has returned to try and find the orphaned brothers.
To find the family, we have to pass through one of the most dangerous places on Earth. It's a hotbed of armed rebellions, and these brave rangers behind me are armed just in case we get ambushed.
Several hours by truck is followed by a tough trek through dense jungle. Gorillas have been seen here, but they're constantly on the move.
We started the trek 10 o'clock yesterday morning, the toughest terrain I've ever been in my life. But we've been told by the trackers that Rwanda's family is just about 2 hours ahead. And I'm looking forward so much to see if Noel, Mukunda and Kongomani survived. I'm really thrilled and excited, but buggered.
Soon after, Paul fell seriously ill. He had to be carried by stretcher. We kept going. The deeper we go, the closer we get.
The trackers have told us that we're getting close. The only problem is that they're watching us, but we can't see them. We have to wear face masks because the gorillas share 97% of our DNA. A human disease could kill them.
Our guides make grunting noises. They're telling the gorillas we're not a threat.
There he is. That's the big chief. Oh, wow. He's huge.
It's Kongomani, one of the orphans.
It's terrifying and wonderful at the same time.
And who's down here?
Oh, it's Kongomani.
Kongomani?
Yes.
Is that Kongomani?
Yeah, that's Kongomani.
He's such a big boy now.
Yeah.
When I saw him 4 years ago, he's
Silverback now.
He looks like his father, Sengwekwe.
Yeah. Now he's just taking the breakfast. Yeah.
Oh, look at him now. I can't believe this is the same little fellow that I saw 4 years ago. Now he's more magnificent than King Kong.
It's just one of those amazing miracles that happen in Congo and that make it all worth it.
What about Noel? Did he survive?
Yes, Noel, he survived. He just here.
Noel!
Is it Noel?
Yeah, that's Noel.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. The little baby, huh?
Yeah, big one.
Tough little baby. Look how big he is now.
Yeah.
Amazing how he
He's
survived.
eating, you see? Yeah.
Yeah, how he survived that massacre.
He survived the massacre.
I saw this little fellow just before his father and mothers were massacred. He should have perished, and yet now I see him as a big boy, strong, on his way to being a silverback. What a moment for me. This is one of the best moments of my life. But there was one missing, the other brother, Mukunda. I asked the trackers and they told me an astonishing tale.
Mukunda had gone rogue.
He left the group, he became quite solitary. Several times we found him hanging out in the villages, causing general chaos. And we'd have to go in and dart him and carry him back into the forest and hope that he wasn't going to come out again, because obviously going in and destroying people's crops and destroying people's houses gets you into trouble.
Mukunda has injured people, But the only people he's injured have been people with guns. So he remembers.
Dr. Jan Raymer led a team of vets trained to help the gorillas. Most remarkable to her is not only their survival, but the fact they've started to breed again.
There's an adult female up in a nest in the foliage. She's got her 3-4-month-old baby with her. She looks pretty content. We don't see any signs of respiratory disease, no signs of illness or injury. She's doing fine. Okay, now look. You see them? Oh my goodness. How cute are you?
Thousands of rebels still remain in Virunga Park and threaten to take it over again. A small army of rangers remain, but the survival of the last 800 mountain gorillas left in the world comes at a cost.
How many of your rangers have you lost?
Since the war started in 1996, we've lost just over 150 of our men.
I consider them as brothers, as sisters.
Is that why you put your lives on the line?
Yeah, it's why we put our lives online, because of loving them too much.
You know, every time you save a gorilla's life, it feels really, really good, and it feels like you're helping. Are they critically endangered? Absolutely, but there's hope.
Silverback's role is to defend the family. Can you imagine a young human kid, 6 years of age, dropped into a park and left there forever? That kid wouldn't survive. It's the same with the mountain gorillas. They're very much like humans, and they depend upon their father and their mothers to live.
Paul Raphael is the author of the acclaimed book Among the Great Apes. In 2007, he came here and discovered a family of mountain gorillas surviving in the midst of civil war. They would have a profound impact on him.
There was Senkwekwe. You could be back at the dawn of time. Volcanoes bursting up through the ground, spewing lakes of molten red lava. It's like watching God create the earth.
I'm in Congo. They live in Virunga National Park, ancient forest that straddles Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Each family is led by an adult male called a silverback. Without his protection, the family is defenceless.
The silverback.
It really does feel like the heart of darkness. The sort of place you'd expect to find King Kong.